Hey there, YouTube fans. How you going? Well, I wish I could say that I am in a pretty good mood. Well, I'm not. This is very discouraging. But thank you to labs that we can have a good idea about what's going on with our health. My hemoglobin and hematocrit and RCC and I think it's called mean corpuscular volume, MCV, is all in the normal range, which MCV is 90, hemoglobin 161 in the Australian values, which is grams per litre, I think it is. But what's really, really interesting is my blood sugars are out of control. I'm getting like 8 in the Australian standard or more every morning still. And my blood pressure's out of control. I'm getting like 160/90 if I'm lucky. And I thought, what the hell? What's going on? And this can explain it. And I keep trying to have this conversation with my GP, and he agrees to disagree with me, but luckily I'm going to see the hospital tomorrow. Sorry, I was looking down. I'm really discouraged, but I'm looking down at the actual lab values. And, you know, they gave me IV iron, so I had an iron infusion, and then my iron came up with the most important thing for me is the TransSat, the transfer and saturation, I believe that's called. And it came up to 18. It was 15. And the ferritin was 220. But I've got high CRP levels. High CRP is C-reactive protein. It's an inflammation. And in my case, I got fatty liver and all sorts of stuff going on. And this, what I've said before in other videos is this high CRP can interfere with your ability to even absorb iron, let alone if you got problems like bleeding, etc., which I have. So, cut a long story short, my TransSat is down lower than before I even had an idea that there was anything going on. It's down to 14 now in the Australian standard. When we found out something was going on, it was 15. Now it's even lower than all of the iron infusions and everything. And the ferritin is 84. So that is in the reference ranges. But here's the thing, and it says it very clearly on this report. It says serum ferritin up to 100 in adults, I think it's micrograms per litre, up to 100 in adults can be seen even when the patient is iron deficient. This is in response to high CRP in the presence of inflammation, because ferritin is a acute phase reactant. So my ferritin here, after several days of not taking any iron tablets, is only 84. So technically, with the high CRP, I'm still iron deficient, especially with a 14 in the saturation when the reference ranges are 20 to 45. So here's the other thing. This is what I was saying to all the doctors, and this is so frustrating. Luckily, I go to see the hospital tomorrow, and I'll try and make my case again. And if they don't listen, I have to go to another GP or something. But I mean, here's the facts. It's in black and white. It's in bloods. That's why they do bloods, is to find these things out. And I was taking iron tablets until the cows come home. 200 milligrams of elemental iron every second day. Now, I stopped it because they thought I was having high blood pressure from the iron. That's probably not it. I was having high blood pressure probably because I'm iron deficient. Actually, it's the other way around. So, but I can't seem to absorb the oral iron, and there's research after research I've done, which is the high hepcidin levels, they can block your ability to absorb iron, especially orally. So you need it intravenously in the veins. That's why it says here that it went from 15 transats up to 18. Yes, because I had an iron infusion. I don't see any other way to get iron into me at this stage than possibly iron infusions. I don't know. This is heartbreaking, but we got to get this sorted out because I've had heart palpitations. I've had really bad fatigue again, and muscle weakness in the legs, and not knowing what's going on because I was thinking that the iron was working. I've had, as I said, diabetes out of control, but there's a little bit of good news, and this doesn't surprise me at all because there was a period where we were treating the iron deficiency with iron infusion, and my HbA1c went from 8.1, which is really bad, to 7.7, which is called suboptimal control, 7.1 to 8. So I'm in the suboptimal control range now, allegedly, with the HbA1c IFCC value of 61. Once again, suboptimal control. What's my point about this? The point is, I'm not feeling better, and there seems to be some pretty good reasons. And the heart palpitations, the blood pressure, the blood sugars, the fatigue and the weakness in the legs, and the dizziness, it can all be explained, actually, from iron deficiency. See if I can pray to God that some doctor out there will treat me well and consistently with with several iron infusions. So I've got some surgeries coming up, hopefully, and this may help the situation. I'm completely frustrated. But anyway, look, the good news is that when you have blood tests, man, you can see what's going on. You have a good idea. Something else came up which worries me somewhat, and I don't exactly understand what the heck this is. Parathyroid hormone, PTH. Apparently it's high in me, 11.5, when the reference ranges are 1.6 to 6.9. Mine is 11.5. But my calcium levels in my blood are normal, so this has some kind of deal with calcium and your kidneys and all the rest of it. Hopefully this is just a wait-and-see approach, and losing weight, I don't know if it will help that. I'll talk to the hospital tomorrow, but I had some kind of chronic infection go away, which is great. That's no longer there, and it's like playing a game of whack-a-mole, isn't it? You fix this thing and then something else pops up. That's how I feel today. Anyway, so I'll try and get on top of this iron deficiency issue. This is iron deficiency. I don't care what anyone says. It's very clear, and according to Sullivan-Nicolaides pathology, I do again fit the criteria for iron deficiency. Which reminds me, I was having problems, heart palpitations all day, and I went to the emergency room, and I believe it was from stopping amlodipine, the calcium channel blocker for blood pressure. I stopped it suddenly. You shouldn't do that, but I felt like it wasn't doing anything. I was probably wrong about that, but anyway, they tested my iron levels because I insisted they do that, and the iron levels were all good, and the transferrin saturation or transats was 35 or something. And I said, you know what? I took iron tablets, 200 milligrams yesterday. Will that affect the test? No, it won't affect the test. Well, look at this. I think weeks later, how can I go from 35 transat down to 14? It obviously affected the test. Iron tablets will affect your test, your blood test for iron studies. And that was, I had 200 milligrams of iron, elemental iron the day before, and then had it tested in the afternoon the next day. So you absolutely, and they don't tell you this. The other guy, Soapy, the Finnish doctor, he said, minimum stop your iron tablets 2 days before you have a blood test. Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you that. It's so frustrating. All right, that's my rant. I'll try and keep you guys posted, and we'll go from there. Well, how frustrating, eh? All right. Hope this helps somebody. You may not be able to absorb your iron tablets from high inflammation in your body, CRP, kidney disease, fatty liver, things like that, diabetes. They can cause inflammation, and you possibly won't absorb your iron tablets. You need possibly iron infusion. Check with your doctor always. This is my situation that I was going on about. All right, guys, take care. Teacher Cell out. God bless.